Camera.
Bye.
Okay, let me see how it's from.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When is the judge coming?
Yes. We just filed an appeal. I don't know whether they don't deliver on my I wouldn't have to find out. You know, say that I don't already so possibly yes, I wouldn't know, but if you go the same way, most likely. I wasn't expecting Okay, I thought maybe they have that's good.
You want to You said something else. Take place in the show. Walking in and walking out of my seat.
Thank you very much.
You should start the court.
Sitting here doesn't remind you of anything.
I'm not asking. No comment.
Okay.
Prof is the patron of the criminal school.
Just from it.
Shima. Yeah, a bastard.
Yes, I am. I am later. Wait, I'll get these videos from Alright.
Morning. Let me know when you're ready. Let's ask you a few questions.
All right.
Alright. Could you please tell us what you're doing here today and what your general thoughts are about the human rights violations in Nigeria?
Well, I'm here to show solidarity to a fellow criminal like me and to identify with his struggle and all that he believes and stands for. It is incumbent on all Nigerians who want a better life, a prosperous and free country, to identify with those who are vanguards of that struggle. So I am here to identify with him and also to solidarize with him. Unfortunately, 20 years, 2 decades since the return of democracy in Nigeria, we are still not very far away from where we come from. And in 1999, we thought violations of fundamental human rights and intolerance to free speech could have been history, but this is where we find ourselves. It's unthinkable that 2 decades since the return of democracy, people will be arrested and persecuted for their views, and also frame up has also become the instrument to which the state can use against individuals who are critical of it. So as for the state of human rights in Nigeria, you can see what you can see. And we are not even talking about human rights, but we are talking about how people can live with their lives. People are being abducted and killed every day. Just yesterday, a seminarian, Michael Nadi, was buried in Kaduna. 2 days before that, over 30 people were massacred in Auno, in Borno State, and there seems no sympathy, no tears from those who are in the position of power. So democracy is not simply having an elected government, but also having a government that cares, caters, and is concerned about the interests of its own people. What is happening in Abuja today is unfortunate. That it has not happened under Obasanjo, it has not happened under Eradua, it has not also happened under Jonathan Goodluck, and it is happening under a man that once championed the cause for freedom, for good governance, the man and people who were once on the street fighting for freedom for our country. It's unfortunate, but we are here to identify with that struggle, and we believe that at the end of the day we shall triumph. What we should not forget is that power is transient. Those who are in the position of authority today thinking that they will be there forever, it's not going to happen. So rule of law is their guarantee when they're out of power, and they should respect it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
just want it to it is I think with all the rest
Good morning, you're welcome to the live coverage of the trial between rights activist Omoyele Sowore and the Federal Republic of versus the Federal Republic of Nigeria, happening at the Federal High Court in Abuja. You're witnessing live scenes from the courtroom where Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu is expected to preside any moment from now. She has sent apologies and is running late, but while we wait for that to happen, there are people who are here who are showing solidarity with Sowore. We have Professor Wole Soyinka, Nobel laureate, human rights activist, and also vocal critic of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. He's here in solidarity. We have lawyers in attendance. We have people. The court is filled to the brim. There are people who are here to show solidarity. We also have Senator Shehu Sani, who is currently undergoing his ordeal with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on allegations of extortion. He is also here to show solidarity today.
I don't want to.
when they say the judgment
As you can see, the court is packed to the brim. There are people everywhere. And people just here to show solidarity. And we're hoping that we see Justice Ijeoma any moment from now emerge to commence. This is the dock where any moment from now Sowore and his co-defendant Bakare will be taking the seat as their trial commences. He's been accused of treasonable felony. He's also alleged to have insulted the president, charges of which he has pled not guilty to.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Deji. How far? Are you okay now? Are you sure? Yes. Are you gone?
When I was in prison, he was my lawyer.
No.
He came one day. The prison authorities refused to allow him to say. Thanks so much.
If you've just joined us, you're live from we're reaching you live from Abuja. This is Sahara TV's coverage of the trial between rights activist Omoyele Sowore and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is accused by the Nigerian government of 7 count charges, including treasonable felony. We have rights activists, politicians, people generally coming to show solidarity in court this morning.
All right.
Those were people who respected themselves. Huh? We just did. Keep me updated. I did for headquarters. Sorry.
Machine people you go.
Wow.
Nice one.
Real excitement. Seats of pride.
Yes.
Sorry, come in.
He came in, he was the first to arrive.
There you go.
Even before us.
I came to observe the trial. I came to observe the proceedings. The issues at stake are too important for us not to be interested in observing the proceedings.
So what are your thoughts about the human rights situation in the country and also security?
Do I need to be thinking about it? Is that not why we're here? No, we're here. If the human rights situation in the country were what it should be, we are not going to be. We would not have been here. That's all we've got to say. I don't need to think about it. All of us are living it, aren't we? And everybody is discussing Bishop Kuka's homily from yesterday, right? That's it.
Do you agree with his position that Nigeria is not worth dying for?
I don't need to agree with his position. The important thing is that that position does exist and was delivered from the pulpit. It's not up to me. Now, it's up to the political leaders to listen to what he said rather than send people like Garba Shehu and Femi Adesina after him and all those their paid trolls on Twitter. I think it's up to the political leaders to listen to him and work hard to create a country that people would wish to die for. That means making Nigeria a patrimony for everybody who lives in it, not for some people, not for a few people, but for everybody. And yes, and I'm also in solidarity with my comrades. My comrades, Sowore and Bakari.
Okay, sir. How do you view the proceedings so far?
I don't need to view the proceedings. That's what I'm here to about. I don't need to take a view on the proceedings. We are here to observe the proceedings.
Okay, sir. What is your take on our rule of law in the country?
Messy. I don't need to advise government. You know what? The Vice President is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Attorney General is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The Junior Minister for Labour is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The Minister for Public Works is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a Senate advisor. The SGF, by the way, is a lawyer too. The number of lawyers in government is too much. I'm not even talking about the ones who also have lawyers who are married to lawyers. So I don't need to advise them. They know what to do. If they wish not to do it, it is their choice.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Saying God at the right name, thank God.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, we sure we have to pursue out to the car. Yes? We have to chase her into the car. You know, we sure don't do when you make right. We have to chase her to the car, but I'll take your phone. No, please put it in the I'll wear it at home. Enough is enough. That's Marshall.
This madam, I hope we're not. Who asked for it? Sorry. Who asked for it?
We will now pause for a bit, but we'll continue to bring you live updates. Stay glued to SaharaReporters.com for all your live coverage of the trial between federal government of Nigerian rights activist Omoyele Sowore. We'll bring you breaking news, we'll bring you live commentary from the courtroom and events and incidents that are happening.